Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello. We have discussed the various components that help us form our personality. But as discussed, we come across people of different faiths, people having different attitudes at workplaces. In order to survive and succeed, what are the measures that we should take? And the best measure that one can take is positive thinking, which actually fuels the fire in you, which actually prompts you to move further and to negotiate and to carve a nest not only for yourself but for your organization as well. We are going to discuss what actually is positive thinking and how can we be positive. As discussed earlier, we come across people having different personalities, different beliefs, different attitudes, different ways of thinking, different communication styles. Then in such a situation, how can we allow ourselves to be positive? Have you ever analyzed yourself? Have you ever thought what sort of a person you are? Are you an optimist or you are a pessimist? Let me give you a very small example before we come on to define and discuss what is positive thinking. Let us take a glass of water. A glass of water, if a glass of water is put and the water level is only up to the half, one person may say the glass is half empty. The other person may say the glass is half full. These actually differentiate the two types of person. The one who says the glass is half empty is actually a pessimist. The one he says the glass is half full is optimist. A pessimist is a person who always looks at the dark side of things, whereas an optimist is one who always looks at the bright side of things. A pessimist finds negativity in every course, negativity in every opportunity, whereas an optimist always tries to create an opportunity even when there is no opportunity. This actually is because of a positive thinking. What can make us positive? A positive person had several advantages. Saying no, it actually analyzes your mindset, but one he always believes that he can do it, can always do it. Norman Vincent Peale, one of the famous authors and positive thinkers, the writer of The Power of Positive Thinking, says, positive thinking is a positive mental attitude. Mental attitude. One must have a positive mental attitude that firmly believes that things will soon be better, and with that belief one can overcome any type of difficulty in his favor. It is actually a question of faith. It is a question of positive mindset. You will find this will help you become a good leader, a good entrepreneur, a person who can always take risks. One who never takes risks can never gain. A person who only leaves an opportunity thinking that he cannot do it will really not be able to do it. But a person who believes that he can do it, will always be able to do it. Let us take an observation which one of the famous psychologists, William James, has given. We are only half awake. All of us are only half awake. We are making use of only a small part of our physical and mental resources. You actually do not know the person that you are. You never went for a sort of disclosure. You never analyzed. You actually have to have a sort of analysis of yourself. You have to disclose yourself. You actually have to discover. And you can discover, and when you discover, you can go ahead to compensate for the things which are lacking in you. Stating the thing broadly, human individuals thus far live within their limits. Do you really know your limits? Most of us, there are certain things which actually lie hidden in us. We have never gone to explore that. They possess powers of various sorts which they habitually fail to use. You might have come across several situations when a new player comes to play and he may be a novice. He does not know how he will handle. But if he is actually positive and he simply stays and he faces it, we find that he becomes victorious. This is actually the result of his positive faith. This is the result of his positive thinking. Now, it is very important to understand what sort of people are around you when you are at a workplace. Late Dr. Eric Berne understood and studied human behavior and human attitude, and he came across 4 sorts of conclusions. The first is, I am not okay, you are not okay. This is what an introvert will say. He will always think that neither he is okay nor others are okay. Now, this is one mindset. Now, people with this mindset can never proceed further. They can never move ahead. There is another category of person who can say, I am not okay, you are okay. Such a person can be considered to be negative. When he thinks he is not okay, but you are okay. The third category of person will say, I am okay, you are not okay. Such a person can be considered to be imposing. He only understands that it is he who matters and not others. Now, since we are working nowadays in teams, we are getting projects in team, we are getting assignments where we have to work with people from different cultures, countries, mindsets, habits, natures and all. We actually have to evolve a system, a thought process through which we can cooperate, and that is possible only when we come with a sort of attitude where we can say, I am okay, you are okay. Now, this sort of a person is not only positive, but he is cooperative. Such a person can fuel a lot of fire in the group and can come out with successful results and bring laurels for the organization, even for himself. All humans by nature, if they start thinking with a positive mindset, they will be able to succeed, even though when situations are not in their favor. As I said earlier, it is only a person with a positive mind who can actually convert a different situation into an opportunity, and he can really bring a change. Now, all of us, because all of us want to succeed, success is the thirst, it is the hunger that all of us are hankering after. But let us try to understand, how can we instill in us a sort of positivism? how can we develop positivism. Most of the time you often start thinking, when you get an assignment, you often become very doubtful whether you will be able to do or not. But believe in yourself. You are full of potentials. You have immense potential within. You have not discovered yourself. Believe in yourself and be yourself. In the previous lecture, we have talked of how people try to identify themselves with other people who often are famous, and I had said that you cannot imitate every quality. You will only imitate the qualities that makes you satisfy. But then if a person goes on imitating another person, what will happen? He will actually lose his own importance, his own being. I am reminded of the story of a famous singer who actually had a very good voice but didn't have a good look, and she always tried to hide her teeth, and in one of the functions when she came back, she actually felt quite frustrated, and then one of the directors who was watching her came to her and said, "Why do you try to hide your teeth, and why do you try to hide your voice? You actually have a talent in you that only can become the key element and you can be successful." So the implication of all that is, try to be yourself. Think that you are the best and you will be the best. So believe in your own abilities. Of course, everyone cannot be having all sorts of skills in him or her, but at the same time, through situations, through opportunities, through different challenges, through interfaces, one can often enhance one's skills. It is, of course, advisable to learn, but while observing and learning from others, see that your own self, that your own being is not lost. Imitate the qualities that you find can really make you go ahead, but don't lose your own qualities, because you have every human being has in him or her certain qualities that can actually make him distinguished. Find out that distinct element, and that can be found only when you try to disclose yourself. It is human nature that if you are suffering from something, if you are having a sort of weakness, you will find that you always try to hide that. But remember, man can change. You might be knowing how Roosevelt was quite weak, how Demosthenes, who actually stuttered a lot, but then through practice he came to be one of the greatest orators. You have in yourself the immense potentials. The only thing is, follow your goals. If you know your goals and if you pursue that through right direction, the right action, in Gita it is said, follow the right action. You are actually the doer of acts. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. What will happen? You are actually not the person to decide, but you have to follow your own dreams. You have to follow your own goals. You have to follow the righteous path. Take the righteous path and you will find that you are going to be successful. All is that you have to concentrate on your own goals. Now, when you are at a workplace, you do not know everyone, nor do others know about your potentials. But then, in order to have a proper interaction, in order to have a proper and satisfactory association as well as a satisfactory transaction, you will come across people with different tastes and habits, as I said, and you have to work in a team and the team members are often different. So how to establish yourself as a person whose knowledge can enrich others and who can learn? It is actually a question that has been studied well by two famous theorists who gave Johari window. It is actually a process devised by American psychologists Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham in 1955. Now, there were two people and they actually demonstrated it with a sort of square and with sort of certain window panes, and they said that when a new person enters a group, he actually tries to display some of his skills, but all his skills, because of the unfamiliarity condition and all, are not known to others, and he also doesn't know. But then in such a situation, when the interaction takes place, it becomes the responsibility of the group member to help the new member expose his own skills, and for that this Johari windows was proposed. The major function of the Johari window is to illustrate and improve self-awareness. As we said, in order to be successful, we have to disclose some of our key skills. We have to become self-aware. There are many things we do not know about ourselves. There are many things that others know about us, and there are many things that neither we know nor others know. So, Johari window actually functions to illustrate and improve self-awareness and mutual understanding. This actually goes a step forward in assessing a group's relationship with other groups. A self and then the others. The others here are the other members of the group. And in soft skills, this Johari windows plays a vital role. It helps us understand and train ourselves through our soft skills. It also helps us enrich ourselves, our behavior, through certain soft skills. Now, this is actually the image of Johari window. Here you will find that there are 4 window panes, and when a person, as I said, joins a new group, and the Johari windows forms 4 parts which are called 4 areas. It has actually been divided into 4 quadrants, 4 areas or 4 regions. So, there's first is the open self, then is the blind self, then is the hidden self, and then the unknown self. Now, this Johari window played a very significant role in disclosing these skills through interaction and through feedback. It actually exposes, it actually represents information in the form of experiences, feelings, views, attitudes, skills, intentions, motivations within or about a person in relation to their group. As I said earlier, in Johari window, the members of the group interact with another individual who may at times be new, and their relationship will develop through interaction, through sharing, through feedback. The 4 perspectives, which are called quadrants, they represent feelings and motivations, sometimes known, unknown by the person, whether the information is known by the person himself or by others in the group. The first quadrant or the first region is called the open area. In this area, there is something that is known by the person is also known by others. Now, this area can expand because there are certain things we know about an individual, and then when we interact, through our interaction and through our feedback, we come to know more, we enrich ourselves. Then is the blind area, where what is unknown by the person, there are certain things that are known by the person, but which others do not know. A new person is unknown, a new person doesn't know something about himself, maybe it is some sort of lapse, but then the others know it. Then comes the hidden area. What the person knows about himself and others do not know. And the last and the final is what is unknown by the person is also unknown by others. We shall be discussing it stepwise. The first area helps in developing an open area for every person. I know something. Now, since I know something, I would actually like to make others know it and the others also know it. But at the same time, the size of the open area can be expanded both horizontally and then vertically also through feedback and through solicitation, through interaction. This open area can be expanded through open positive communication. There are certain situations where, say for example, the blind area. This blind area is when a person does not know something about himself, whereas the others know. Now, in such a situation, since the person is unaware of something, and in order that the group should work well, the person, the new member, has to be made known what he does not know, and at times this may create a sort of emotional upsetting. This may create a sort of emotional disturbance. Hence, in order to expand this area, it is the managers who can promote and who can provide non-judgmental feedback to the other person and make other members also known that this area of him is to be known in order that he can enrich, he can know where he is lacking in. Next comes the hidden self. In such an area, we find that there are certain things which are known to ourselves, but we try to keep it hidden from others. At the workplace, you cannot have so many things which are hidden. Of course, regarding your work style, regarding your performance, regarding your sincerity and all, this relevant hidden area should be moved into, and the window panes will keep on moving in the open area through the process of disclosure. The reduction of this hidden area can promote in ensuring a sort of cooperation, trust and help in learning and in creating a sort of atmosphere where all the members of the group, in some way or the other, they are enriching each other and they are working for a common cause and for a common goal, and that is possible only through a proper interaction. Now, quadrant 4 is the area which is the unknown self. Now, in this area, it is unknown not only to the new person but also unknown to others. Others also do not know. Here is a situation where things can be uncovered, where things can be sought after through collective or mutual discovery. Say for example, when there is a critical moment and no one knows what to do, neither one person, neither the self nor the others know, in such a situation suddenly you will find there is something new that can come out, and through this you can have a sort of self discovery. Of course, that may be at times sensitive, and to which amount this area is expanded, it actually depends upon the individual's own discretion. Dear friends, when you are working in groups, as you know, group has got a common goal, a collective goal. The group has got an inbuilt correcting mechanism, and while you are interacting in a group, it actually becomes quite essential that you try to interact, you try to learn, you try to gain knowledge through proper feedback, and managers as well as the CEOs, they through honest feedback and through honest suggestions can help other group members come to a situation where all of them can work harmoniously. Now, there are certain unknown factors, as I said, which are there in the unknown area or the last area we discussed. That is, there are certain skills which are there in you, but which have not been properly estimated, which have not been properly discovered, which actually have been underestimated. Now, there may be at times a natural ability or attitude that we often do not realize we possess. Maybe somebody is a very good singer, but since he never came across such a situation, or his ability was never given a sort of fillip by others, he himself did not know that he had a very good voice. But then in a group, when somewhere or the other there came a situation, either because of the fear or because of the love, he actually disclosed, and there was a sort of self-awareness. It may be also because of some unknown illness that a person may not be able to know about this latent talent in him. And there are some situations, say for example, the repression or some subconscious feeling which might have hindered this quality of him for years. But then when there is an opportunity and people get a sort of chance, one can always disclose his talent through mutual cooperation. Of course, sometimes because of the conditioned behavior and because of the way we have been habituated to live in, we are not able to expose some of our skills which often lie hidden. Friends, all of us with this discussion have come to understand that joy windows can help us in unraveling the various skills or the various aspects of individuals' behavior through some self-awareness. In the previous lecture, we have talked about how we can improve ourselves, how we can change certain qualities of our personality through interaction, through our association with people, and through different phases in life. Nothing in this world is fixed. We can always change ourselves. Joy window can help us know the group members, and it can also ensure better relationship and communication skills. There are people who often feel that they are not able to speak, but while they are working in a team, they may become aware of some of the lapses, some of the gaps of their communication, and through proper interaction and through proper cooperation, they can learn to speak better through mutual cooperation. Joy windows can also ensure better productivity and success by reducing gaps in thinking. Dear friends, whatever you do, whatever way you act, it is but important that we remember and realize what has been said in Dhammapada. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. If you start thinking positively, if you start thinking with sincerity, and if you start thinking you can always win. Nothing is impossible. It is the humans who have the ability to fight out the monster or to fight out the shortcomings that are there in them, and they can really prove themselves worthy and successful. And I hope you too will realize how through a positive mindset you can also climb the ladders of success through proper aspirational values and through a proper and a behavior that is really to be appreciated in the days to come. Thank you very much.